Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. William Samoei Arap Ruto, the President of the Republic of Kenya, clearly has some unfinished business with Uhuru Kenyatta. Earlier this week, William Ruto met with 30 members of parliament from Jubilee Party at State House in Nairobi. During that meeting, they agreed to support the president. And today, William Samoei Arap Ruto engineered the removal of Uhuru Kenyatta's key allies from Jubilee Party. In my view, if you ask me, William Ruto has now succeeded in kicking Uhuru Kenyatta out of Jubilee Party. In this video, I want us to look at why William Ruto actually decided to kick Uhuru Kenyatta's allies from Jubilee Party. Before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, I want you guys to take a second or two, click the subscribe button, so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is now. There is a post I'm looking for here. Yes. Pius Kinovia has posted something here which is very interesting, because I've been going through the comments just before we get into all these details. I was going through comments of people. There are people who believe very strongly that the move to replace Kioni by Kanini Kega confirms that Uhuru Kenyatta is supporting Ruto. Personally, I disagree with them. Now, this is what Kinuthia is saying. Sabina Chege, as I told you, is an evil person. Based on my interactions with her during campaigns, she is evil. She's the one being used by Ruto to coordinate all these evil schemes. Her deputy evil schemer is Kanini Kega. Remember, these were very close allies of Uhuru Kenyatta. But for me, the mere fact that Ruto can target David Murathe, that's where now I draw the line, because you can't separate David Murathe from Uhuru Kenyatta. And I'm just reading this statement from Jubilee Party, from Jubilee Party, which removed these other guys. It says, resolutions of the National Executive Committee meeting held on the 10th February 2023 at Serena Woodlands Hotel, Nakuru. The mere fact that these resolutions were actually made in Nakuru confirms that William Ruto's hand is deep inside the schemes. Why? Jubilee Party, Kenya Kwanza, are planning to have a massive rally in Nakuru on Sunday. So for me, these are just part of those schemes. And if you read that statement, these are the changes which they have made, that the following party officials are suspended forthwith, and their cases referred to the party's internal dispute resolution mechanism for further disciplinary determinations. That is Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni, the National Treasurer Kagwe Gichohi, that's a Uhuru guy, then the National Vice-Chairperson David Murathe. All these three people are Uhuru Kenyatta's guys, and they have been replaced by Honorable Njoki. They have been replaced by Kanini Kega. Kanini Kega has replaced them. And they are saying that the National Executive Committee hereby co-opts the following as members of NEC. They have also added a few people into NEC. That one of them is Irene Njoki Murembo, I think the MP for Bati, if I'm not wrong. Then there's Sabina Chege. Then there is Margaret Kamar and Jerosha Mumanyi. So for me, if you ask me, these things are going to be very interesting, very, very interesting. In fact, Kanini Kega is now the acting Secretary General. Then Rachel Nyamai is the National Treasurer now. And then they have Adan Keynan, who will be replacing David Murathe. I don't want to get into that. In my next video, I'm going to explain the unfinished business between Uhuru and Ruto and why these guys are still going to continue fighting. Let me ask you, do you think these changes confirms that Uhuru played Raila? For me, I don't agree with that. But let me just focus on this particular video, why William Ruto has actually engineered the removal, because Uhuru Kenyatta has now been removed from Jubilee Party. That is the fact. Why do I mean so? Number one, Ruto is keen on forcing Uhuru Kenyatta out of politics. How do you force Uhuru Kenyatta out of politics? You come up with a strategy. You defeat him. He has members of parliament. Engineer the defection of those members of parliament to your party. Let those members of parliament and MPs, senators, and the rest support you. Once they do that, get the officials of the party, remove Uhuru Kenyatta's allies from the party. So which means Uhuru Kenyatta will no longer have a party. How do you think it will look like if, for example, Uhuru Kenyatta will wake up tomorrow to claim that is the party leader of Jubilee Party? A party without members of parliament. A party without his allies. So for me, Ruto is keen on forcing Uhuru Kenyatta out of politics. And Uhuru Kenyatta is going to leave politics. And that's why my advice for Raila Odinga, as much as you want Azimio to continue, change the name of Azimio. Revert to either NASA or come up with another party, then focus on 3 or 4 parties. Focus on Wiper. Focus on Wiper, number 1. Number 2, focus on Eugene Wamalwa's party, which is also at risk, by the way, but those are the only options now. The second reason why William Ruto has engineered the removal of Uhuru Kenyatta's allies from Jubilee is his revenge mission. You know, and it's sweet revenge for Ruto. Ruto was kicked out of Jubilee Party. You know, William Ruto actually is the one who engineered the formation of Jubilee as a political party. Because remember, in 2013, we had the TNA party, the National Alliance Party, and the URP party. Then after the 2013 election, William Ruto realized that for him to take control of the party, he convinced Uhuru Kenyatta to merge these parties in 2017. And because Uhuru Kenyatta was desperate for his second term, he agreed. So they merged all the other political parties, except for KANU. Gideon Moi refused. And then after merging all these parties into one, they formed one big political party called Jubilee Party. William Ruto's intention was to use Jubilee Party for 2027 election. I mean, for 2022 election. That was his main intention. But after that election, handshake came. The two gentlemen fell out. By the time William Ruto realized he had been kicked out of Jubilee, remember how he was telling Raila Odinga, huwezi ukanifukuza kwa kwa ODM alafu mkanifukuza tena kwa Jubilee. So right now I think he's just laughing that he's now managed to take back Jubilee Party. So for me, it is a revenge mission, which is so sweet, if you ask me. And for ODM Party, I think Raila Odinga must continue thanking the men in black. Because I don't know whether to blame Uhuru or to blame what. Uhuru has failed to provide leadership to Jubilee Party. Because you saw what happened when the 9 MPs met with Ruto. You know, Jalango attended that meeting. He was kicked out. So anybody who will be attempting to take over ODM will be met with the full force of men in black. So for Raila Odinga, he has men in black. But Ruto has actually managed to revenge on Uhuru Kenyatta. You kicked me out of the party. I now got the party back. Number 3, in my view, is that William Ruto is keen on weakening the Azimio movement. Azimio had actually embarked on a series of political rallies. And Azimio were like, they have Jubilee, they have, which is the second party, I think it should be the second biggest political party in Azimio, Jubilee, ODM, Wiper, DAP Kenya, and the few ones, like Roots Party now. But now the fact is, Jubilee is no longer there. And because politics is a perceptional game, most people will now perceive Azimio as dead. And these rallies will be viewed majorly as ODM. Do you know why Ruto is doing that? He wants to brand these rallies as ODM rallies, and not just ODM rallies. He wants to brand them as Luo rallies because he wants to brand them as violent. You know, they've always tried to associate violence with these rallies, but so far up to this stage, no violence has ever occurred. But their intention is to associate the rallies with violence. Then you know definitely they'll then associate violence with the Luos. But they could not do that as long as Wiper was there and Jubilee was there. Now they've managed to remove Jubilee, which means Wiper is now left there. So for me, Ruto is keen on weakening the rallies, which means these rallies are actually a big headache for him. Number 4 is 2027 politics. I know you'll ask me how. The truth of the matter is that William Ruto wants to merge all the political parties in Kenya Kwanza into one. On Sunday, these Jubilee members you see here will officially join Kenya Kwanza. And because they'll join Kenya Kwanza and they don't have a leader, the intention is once they join, then William Ruto will ask them to fold. And William Ruto is going to engineer the formation of a new political party. Musalia Mudavadi has been told to fold ANC party. Wetangula has been told to fold Ford Kenya. Wetangula is still adamant, but he's been told. Moses Kuria has folded his party. And all these other political parties forming Kenya Kwanza, all of them are going to be told to fold. So if they will fold, then Ruto will deal with the politics of the mountain. Because there's this perception that Raila Odinga actually got substantial votes from the mountain. And those votes are actually attributed to Jubilee Party. So if Jubilee Party is now going to be part of them, it means Raila Odinga will now not claim support in the mountain. He will be left with Jeremiah Kioni. Because who else is now left in Azimio from Jubilee? Jeremiah Kioni and probably that brave lady from Garissa who refused to attend William Ruto's meeting. And lastly, in my view, William Ruto is also taking the war to Uhuru Kenyatta's doorstep. You know, Ruto succeeded. He kicked out Uhuru. Then he came up with the issue of tax. Before tax, he came up with the issue of Uhuru Kenyatta's security. So he told Uhuru, you don't deserve this security. So he took them. Then the issue of tax came up. Your family is not paying tax. Then when he met with the members of parliament from Jubilee, they told him, for us, don't touch Uhuru. The implication is bad on us. Let's just work together, but wachana maneno ya Uhuru. So the issue of tax, security, he forgot about them. And now going for the party means he's now taking the war right to the doorstep of Uhuru Kenyatta. And I'm sure William Ruto is now seated somewhere, waiting for Uhuru Kenyatta to react. If Uhuru Kenyatta will react, he will do something. And I'm seeing Uhuru Kenyatta reacting because Jubilee Party has actually issued some statement here. I think I just saw, I don't know whether I'll be able to get them. Jubilee issued some statement that Jeremiah Kioni has received petition to remove some of these members of parliament from office. You know, that's what William Ruto wants. When William Ruto met with these MPs, he told them, please, can you just resign? I'm not going to sponsor another candidate in your constituencies. Then you now come back as UDA. Some of these people will be willing to do that. So Jeremiah Kioni is going to engineer their removal from the party, and then they resign as members of parliament. Then they go for a contest. Ruto is planning to wash Uhuru again. Guys, I don't know what you think, but that is the sad reality. The question is, what next for Raila Amolo Odinga? Thank you guys, and may you have a good day.